The kids are down. The wife's asleep.
So in 4 hours, you drank 15 Busch Lights.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at 8 o'clock, that's when you checked out and your wife had to deal with you.
Night time.
Night time.
Yeah.
Crack a beer. Pour a bourbon. It's After Dark. On ESPN Louisville Plus. Subscribe and smash that freaking like button. Now here's Justin Soforo.
Soforo. How do you
Soforo.
say Soforo? No, it's fur. It's fur, not four. That's why it's fur, man.
Soforo.
There you go.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Soforo. I don't know. Soforo? Soforo, my bad. No, Soforo.
Here's Justin Soforo.
With Anna Tarullo.
All right, we're working on that. What's up, everybody? Welcome back in to another edition of ESPN Louisville Plus. I'm Justin Soforo, and of course, this thing hasn't gone away yet. There we go. Now it's back. I'm Justin Soforo. With me, as always, Anna Tarullo. I promise I'm working on the imaging. I'm going to get it better and fixed where she's actually in the intro since it's her show, too. But joining us today, two very special guests who I really appreciate them taking the time out this evening. Ethan Moore of Louisville Sports Live and Cory Bosemer. I've never actually said your last name before.
Actually, you pronounced it correctly on the first try. It's a weird Italian German name. It's got 7 letters. 2 shouldn't be in there, and you got it right.
Well, there we go. I'm looking. I was working on it. I think because the first time I think I said Bosemer or something. Actually, the reason I give credit, Phil said it right in front of me, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to be the guy who has the name that everybody says wrong." That's why I put it in the intro, the joke of that, and then I was saying your name potentially incorrect as well. But yeah, Cory Bosemer joining us as well. Appreciate you guys for tuning in today. We are. I think it's kind of a fun back. Real quick, I did want to touch on this, and I apologize. We were out last week. I'm sorry to Anna and everybody. We had to cancel the show. My puppy passed away. It was kind of a shock, surprising one. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is just a real downer for kind of at least for this side with me and Ethan that are having a good time today. But overall, kind of a downer to start it out. But I apologize. After Dark, though, should be every Sunday at 9 p.m. show. But we had to have a day of mourning, if you will, for my pup. So we did that and we took it off, but we're back now. And sorry to just lay that dead fish there to start the show. But anyway, guys,
no pun intended.
Welcome in. And I guess just overall, just kind of obviously we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Louisville basketball, the recruiting, I guess just a bombshell that dropped today. I guess we kind of expected, but I was getting a little bit nervous there, Ethan. I don't know who to throw to first. I know I feel like while the iron's hot, that we should probably talk Louisville first before we get to you guys' side and the Kentucky stuff, because there is news. And Tarullo, if you're okay, if I throw it to Ethan first, and then we can get into that.
I don't know anything about what's happening, so I'm very okay with that.
All right, Ethan, my guy, how's it going? How you feeling? And just give me your reaction. Pat Kelsey landing Flory Bidunga, and I think I'm saying that right? Yeah, Bidunga.
You are.
Bidunga. Okay, it's
Bidunga.
Yeah, I just don't want to accidentally, butcher somebody's name. And then also landing Oregon's Jackson. Crap.
Shelstad.
Okay, Shelstad. Sorry. I've worried so much about Bidunga that I'm like, how am I going to say this other name? That's not hard, but it's just different. It's not.
So we got Soforo, Bosemer, Bidunga, Shelstad. All right. Yeah. Now we're all clear. Yeah, man. I mean, this was something that is very impressive on surface level, and then if you're going to carry that over to the season, I mean, number one, they identified these two guys as their 2 priority targets. So you did that, then you got them on campus quickly. The first day of the portal window availability, you brought them to campus. And I think Shelstad got here Friday night, Bidunga Saturday afternoon. But these were your top 2 catalyst type of dudes to build this foundation. And then more importantly, today, you landed both of them. So kudos to PK and staff for identifying, bringing them to campus, and then closing the deal. And Louisville was the buzz of the college basketball portal season today when that news broke. They both had the same agent. So they were able to kind of get a little double play there. Less, I guess, middlemen process with getting these guys to sign today. But this is exactly what Louisville needed. You're going to need a point guard. Shelstad is that. And then obviously, after this past season, Pat Kelsey realized that you're going to have to be much improved from a physicality standpoint in the paint. And when you land Bidunga, who is number one in the transfer portal on 3 and 247, that just speaks volumes to the staff identifying areas of weakness. I mean, hell, they have to replace virtually the entire roster anyways, but still, fans wanted to know, especially, I'm going to raise my hand here for this one, how can he adapt and adjust after the first 2 years? And what you saw with the 5-out offense, yeah, you did have guys from the perimeter getting hot from 3. You had the fast tempo. You had all that consistently. Now, you certainly can make the argument that Louisville's offense faded when they played the really good quad 1A opponents this year, and they did. But you also had to get more physical in the paint, and you did that today. Massive props to the staff for getting things done rather quickly, wrapping it up. And then, too, Louisville beat Arizona, Duke, and Michigan for their top 2 priority picks over the last couple of days. Hats off to PK and staff. Well done and sealing the deal today.
I got to be honest. There were so many like pictures and videos being put out yesterday, and I totally blanked and forgot that my guy Peyton Siva had put out, everybody come out at 2:00. You know, Peyton Siva doesn't naturally just tell people where he'll be at 2:00 watching the baseball game, right? So it's all hinting to people to come out there. But the pictures that were put out, Matt McGavick, one of the guys who had done it, put out pictures of Bidunga and Shelstad playing, like, I guess, cornhole. But
yeah.
The angle that it was taken, it did not look that hype. I was a little bit nervous because I was like, this does not look like it's going to sell to, college basketball players. And I didn't realize they were at the game. But no, I guess they ended up having a good time, but I guess more so, I mean, they got that bag. And,
exactly.
there's a lot of talk about, and that's one thing I want to give Pat Kelsey a lot of credit on, is something that's pretty, I guess at this point, the last 3 seasons in a row, you can kind of set your clock to it, that Pat Kelsey is going to get his targets, his main targets. In the last 2 seasons, it's definitely been guard heavy. I was really happy to see, because I said I wanted to see a big man be the first one up. He's able to package team that up with a guard. But to go out there and get it done, he always seems to line it up and get exactly the first 2 to 3-ish guys within that very first, like an early window, within that first weekend. Sure. Something that we'll talk about as well, because Kentucky's one that I've noticed this trend as well with my Kentucky friends I talk with at work and other places, is Mark Pope slow plays a lot of it. He takes his time. Like, you don't see him really hit it hard and fast when it comes to a lot of the recruiting, at least so far. We'll see if it changes here in the next couple of days or so. But anyway, Pat Kelsey, once again, getting that guy, at this point right now, when it comes to Louisville basketball, and like people out there tend to, put me in a box of a hater and a guy who is a little bit too critical.
Glass half empty.
Yeah, it's a glass half empty kind of guy. The thing I will say is I am very, very excited and optimistic. I'm going to be reserved on how we see that Pat Kelsey can operate and how he can coach these guys up. But he's done everything that I could have asked for after the season wrapped. He went out there.
Sure.
The guys that had to leave. He went out there and got exactly what they needed. A defensive guy with I want to make sure I'm saying this right. Azurshek? Is it Azurshek? Yeah.
I am not going to be able to confirm or deny that you said that correctly.
Yeah.
Coach,
Azurshek?
the defensive coordinator,
Coach A.
Yes, there you go.
Coach
Wait,
A.
he was the
Coach A,
defensive guy at Florida when they won the title.
Yeah.
I mean,
Literally, he has done everything that I could have asked for so far. So I have no complaints. Again, it'll change when the season rolls around and how they play in the end. But he's getting everything that I needed, everything I wanted, especially getting the top big man in the portal, defensive wise, and so forth. So at this point, great on PK. Excited to see how the season rolls and how this portal continues on. The blue side, any comments that y'all want to have on this?
We're keeping
Like I said earlier,
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Cory.
There's no comments.
No.
Other than I paid attention to a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So it came out Colin Chandler wanted got the offer for 3.2. Go get your money. But I'm like, Pope's like, nah, we ain't got that for you, but we got it for your old teammate that's coming to visit here in 2 days. I'm like, that's kind of shady for Mark from the outside looking in, because that's not like a squeaky clean kind of move, if you ask me. I don't know. I like it though. I'm like, finally, he's got a little rough edge to him. I mean, other than that, though, there's really nothing been going on. It's depressing.
You said you like that about Mark Pope, like the rough edge to him, like
finally,
yeah, he's shady.
I mean, quit being squeaky clean.
I get it, but it's like, do it in a smart way, my guy. Like, do it in a way that benefits you. Also, Brandon Garrison going to Alabama, I like that fit. That seems good. It's bad to the point where, like, I can't even get excited about it because I feel like I tried to get excited about it, last summer, last portal season. And I think, Mark Pope just went the Mark Stoops route and tried to get things that just didn't even work out at all for him. So I have no optimism towards this next season. So it's hard to get me to care. Like, it feels like football 2.0. Mark Stoops era football 2.0, not Will Stein era. Thank you. But I don't know. But like, big props to Louisville. All of that is so exciting, and it seems like Pat Kelsey's making the right offseason moves. For a second, I thought he was trying to recruit country and western singers. I thought Zach Bryan was gonna be the next guy with the dang jersey on. It looked like it, but I would have loved that for you guys. I would have been appreciative of that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have no faith in Mark Pope if you can't even keep the guys you need to retain. And no, I'm not going to be excited. Love Trent Noah, good for him, but I'm not going to be excited about that's your announcement about who's staying.
Well, like, for me, too, is like, your number one guy to retain was Chandler, and you couldn't. So it's like, is your backup plan the guy that he played with before, the guy from BYU? What if you don't get him? You're going to look like Boo Boo the Fool. Like,
and that is what we have right now.
But it was beautifully timed, guys. When news broke that Louisville got Bidunga and Shelstad, and then on the blue side they said Trent Noah is returning. It was the same. The news broke within like 20 minutes of each other, and it was just like, you had Card Nation going crazy, then BBN not so much. But yeah, to Cory's point, he mentioned it earlier. I mean, Rob Wright's visiting tomorrow. Yeah. I think it's tomorrow, and then Stokes is visiting as well. So perhaps there's no way that Pope can let at least Stokes go. If he visits and doesn't commit, then I mean the heat that he's going to have on him is going to be to magnify tenfold, I would think.
Can I talk? Yeah. No, go ahead, Cory. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I think it's weird in a good way that Stokes is taking a visit, because I thought way back when he wasn't going to. So obviously they got the money there. They got the money.
And I think Nike, and remember too, Nike's probably going to chip in because Kansas is an Adidas school, and Stokes signed with Nike earlier.
And Fanatics.
They're certainly
Fanatics.
The swoosh is not going to allow him to sign with three stripes. And so I'm sure his asking price is going to go up, and it's going to be incumbent upon Nike to meet that number.
Absolutely.
I still like weird in a good way. I would just stop at weird. I'm sick of saying anything about Mark Pope is in a good way. It's Cory, right? That's your first name?
Yeah.
I just always know, like, what's your Twitter handle? It's like Bosemer 502, right? Or something like that?
Bosemer Media 502.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. So I just never that's what I think of you as.
I thought it was funny. Question. You're a real person. You're a real person.
Yeah, no, that's how I felt. I was like, it's a real guy. I was imagining you as just a Twitter handle. But I had a question for you. I forgot it. But I'm out on anything being positive about Mark Pope. I'm done with it after he just failed the offseason changes last year. But where are you in terms of how you feel about Mark Pope? Are you giving him, how long of a leash are you giving him this offseason for a big turnaround? I think my lack of confidence just stems from how players and everybody around him kind of reacts to him. It doesn't to me, inspire a whole lot of confidence. Doesn't matter what recruits you get. If you couldn't even get the locker room you had this year with spending the most money on a roster in college basketball to believe in what you're talking about, what are you going to do to the recruits that come in? How do you feel about that?
I'm starting to wonder and question: does he believe in himself and what he does?
Yeah,
I read body language, and his body language this whole season has been entirely, totally different and more complex than it was the first season. Now, granted, you did a little bit more the first season, but you had your head down more on the sidelines than you did the first season. You're throwing your hands up in the air. I'm thinking and wondering if he questions himself a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm starting to think that's what he's doing. And it's hard for fans or anybody to get excited if they're having those thoughts about their head coach of their team. Because if fans could point it out, players and coaches on the staff could point it out. I don't know.
And it's kind of everybody's body language around him as well. So I don't know. I'm just super pessimistic about all of it. And I keep trying to do reality checks. Like, if that's the right move, should I give him a little bit more space there to make something happen? But it's hard to be excited about any of it when you squander away the wealth of riches that you had in the transfer portal last offseason.
See, I think, and I know Mark Pope's a great person, amazing dad, husband, all that's great. But the problem when you hire one of your own is you tend to be more relaxed and allow more to go on that you normally wouldn't if they weren't of your own. So it's like, how much more of a leash you gonna give them, like you said, and then also, if Mitch is still going to be around, I don't see the leash getting tightened anytime soon. That's Mitch's guy. I mean, that's our guy too. But it's like, bro, like, you of all people should understand and know what it is to be at Kentucky. Like, you gotta get it together.
Okay, I had a quick question. Since we've been talking on the Tyron Stokes thing, it's a little bit for you guys and then a little bit for Ethan as well. And like I said, I'm trying to play this because, especially given the way the transfer portal is going right now, Tyron Stokes is a guy early on that was linked with Louisville as well because of his,
he's from here,
being here. He's from here. It makes a lot of sense. One of the things that kind of came to my mind, so many great pieces that Louisville, I mean, it's early on. There's 2 pieces. And there's still a lot to be built with these rosters, especially for Louisville too.
Will Hankey, don't forget Will from St. X.
Will Hankey. Okay, so on the Louisville side, Will Hankey, you've got Woolley, and then you have London Johnson as well. We'll see if they both end up staying. And then you have now Bidunga and Shelstad. That is a roster that's coming up and developing. I'm not sure if the philosophy is going to be, you get like 2 to 3 big time gets, like these 2 are the early ones, and then maybe you get in. We're looking at Blackwell. I know there's been talk there. I don't know. We'll see. And then there's also, Quinn Ellis is another guy that's been rumored out there. And something that came to my mind was, and what I wonder is, if you're Louisville, you have these great pieces. To me, like, what's missing almost is, outside of everything else that needs to be filled in. But one other piece that I would be looking at and would be on my wish list would be another, like a Michael Brown kind of guy, a guy who's that kind of a freshman phenom kind of player. And Tyron Stokes kind of could have filled that role in for me. I know PK made comments of maybe personality issue, maybe wasn't meshing. I don't know if it's, I don't, especially given that you went after these 2 guys, I don't especially gather that it's all going to be just he's asking for too much money and I'm not going to pay it, right? It seems like there's something there for some reason that rubbed him the wrong way. And then additionally, Kentucky, one reason that you definitely prioritize him is you need to have some kind of flash in the pan hit right quick and early, is how I feel personally. Ethan, what's your vibe from that? Do you feel like Louisville needs a guy like that to kind of continue that trend, or do you think it's not really necessary? Do the portal and make it work?
Well, I mean, I think, Justin, you pretty much laid it out. I mean, ideally, a kid being from Louisville who's a 5-star number 1 player in the nation, more often than not, man, I would be like up in arms, like, why is he not coming to Louisville? But also too, I mean, no telling how much money cost the Louisville's collective and landing Bidunga and Shelstad. I mean, you see the numbers out there on social media, and who knows?
What,
but
$7 million allegedly?
Yeah. I mean, they're not cheap. Everybody's overpaying. Yeah. I mean, nobody's going to be quote unquote cheap anymore. That's just not where we are in this day and age. And I don't think the money is there, but I do think, and this isn't sour grapes, honestly, on my part, I think his troubled past with getting kicked out of multiple schools it looms large. And Kelsey talks a lot about culture, a lot about guys, being, that team mindset, 25 strong. And I don't think Stokes' personality would have blended well with that culture. Now, that could be like, oh, that's just sour grapes, blah, 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 blah. Now, Stokes is a great talent. There's no doubt about that. In this 26 class, I mean, he's certainly the number one player. He's got the physical components. He can finish at the rim. Can he take the coaching at the next level? What happens when things don't go his way? What happened at these schools where he kept leaving and then got kicked out of the last school and went to the school in Seattle? Like that could raise some red flags, but his talent is undeniable. And I think too, Soforo, you mentioned that as well. I mean, Hope needs something positive quickly to happen. He needs something. He needs a shot in the arm to get the fan base off his back, and they're well within their right to be vocal about how disappointing he's been when you spend 20.
I'm just curious how much that would even work at this point. Like after you bring in guys like JQ, and I know there was injuries and he didn't play a lot, but like I just think, speaking as purely a fan, I don't even know how much that would register on the scale for me of how much I believe in Pope. I'd just be like, all right, you're just going to misuse him. You're just going to do some ADHD-ass substitutions, and he's barely even going to get to play 5 minutes before you drag his ass out. Yeah. Like, that's how little I believe in Mark Pope. Oh, my God. I hate it.
Well, no, I mean, but yes, you're not wrong to have that thought, and I'm sure the vast majority of the fan base feels the same way. And that was something I was talking to a buddy earlier today, Anna, about that, and I was like, what happens when he gets when he's in the flow of the game and he gets subbed out? Does he have words for Pope? Does he have words for the staff? How does that work?
Staying on the damn court. That's what I would love. That's a badass that I want to see, because I know it's not coming from the damn coach. Yeah. I want to say, hey, guess what? I'm not coming out. Like but if I'm a guy who needs my minutes and likes my minutes, what did I see from this past season that would make me want to go play for Mark Pope in Kentucky? You're just going to get dragged out. Right. It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. Yeah. So I think that's where my level of confidence is too. I'm acting like it's like, I don't know where it's coming from, but I guess seeing the misuse of lineups and substitutions and the talent and even his like appraisal of talent and building a roster. How can you spend? It is malpractice. How can you spend that much money on a damn roster and you don't even have the right, your point guard goes out and you're screwed. You think you're screwed for the rest of the season. How about like use your funds a little bit better so you have a great backup right there? How do you misuse $22 million or however much it was? You know what I mean? So I'm like, Pope could bring in Michael Jordan in his heyday. I'm like, oh, well, I hope he's okay with playing half of a half. I hope he's okay with that.
Well, I mean, I think BBN's going to do what fan bases do, what Card Nation's doing right now. They're going to buy in with the hype. And then to your point, Anna, once the season starts, people are going to be like, hey, this is what I'm expecting is going to happen. Is anything different? We have the pieces in place, ideally. But yeah, I mean, your doubt, your skepticism is certainly valid, but given the misuse of, that season, $22 million, allegedly 22 wins and 14 losses. I mean, I can see why BBN is howling. And then from the Louisville side of things, I mean, I really like Pat Kelsey. I'm trying to be patient, but he still has a lot to prove, especially in the postseason as well, and playing against those quad 1A opponents. And how crazy is this? Louisville exhibition opener in Lawrence, Kansas against Bidunga's Jayhawks. I mean, talk about like a late October storyline for college basketball. He has to go against his former team in the first game.
Good.
Well, speaking of Bidunga, or is it Bidunga?
I think it's
Bidunga. Is that how you pronounce it?
I think it is Bidunga. It's Bidunga. I felt like it's a BB.
Wasn't he defensive player of the year in Big 12 though? Wasn't he the defensive player of the year in the Big 12 too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, amen to that.
I'll say this.
Get a defensive big guy down low.
Okay, so sticking, and I want to stick with Louisville for a little bit here, just because I want to try to bring some, because I feel like quickly I can go back and forth with U of L and UK because there's so much there.
With U of L right now.
Well,
bigger news.
It's right now it is the news that's hitting. I know that people want to hear it, but also I really do want to talk Kentucky as well, because I mean I can just see by the comments in the chat as well. There are just a lot, even on both sides, UK people talking about U of L and UK people just talking about Pope. He doesn't fit. By the way, shout out. Real quick, I do want to say, if you haven't already, do me a solid favor, smash the freaking like button wherever you're watching this. We're putting out this on multiple different aspects: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and then now we have the vertical. So if you like it with the vertical screen or the horizontal conversion, either way, just let us know. And then also just let me know in the comment section if you like how you prefer to watch it. Do you prefer it vertically, like on, like the real kind of version look, or do you like the normal horizontal screen? Let me know that too. But anyway, Drew Hoskins, who is one of our members, who shout out them. Consider, if you want to support the channel and to support the stuff we do here, consider joining the member squad there. But he says he has no confidence in Pope until we have sustained success into the conference slate. We got too hyped over early Duke and Gonzaga wins in year one. And that's something also that kind of happens across the board. And I don't know if that's just kind of the way the season went. A lot of places, a lot of teams had those big monumental wins or a massive beatdown. And it just, you're taking a little bit too much from that. What I wonder, and what I kind of want to know is, if you're, sorry, I'm going to stick with Louisville. I was about to go full Kentucky again. If you're Louisville, Ethan, you got these two players. You're trying to keep Woolley. You're hoping you're keeping Woolley and London Johnson. I think we want to keep London Johnson. I've never seen him play, so I have no idea how good of a player he'll be, but he's a guard there. What's the next piece that you want for this roster? I know what I want, but I want to hear what you want specifically for the roster for Louisville.
So could I do another double play? Like, can I get the next two guys, since we had Shelstad and Bidunga together? I want a shooting guard, and I want a 4-man. I want that. We need a 2 and a 4. So if you can get those guys, and I think Kelsey is as dialed in with what he needs as the fan base is. I mean, I'm being honest. Like, we wanted coaching changes right in the offseason. Well, you brought in 2 dudes with Power 4 experience and that are defensive-minded coaches. Boom. Check that box off right there. You need a big man. You need to improve the physicality and defense of that 5-man. What did you get? The Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. You also got an elite point guard that has more quickness.
Yep.
As good as Michael was when he was hurt, I mean, his quickness didn't matter with him sitting on the bench, but nobody else had that explosive first step. Shelstad does. Now he had the hand injury. He only played 12 games his last season at Oregon. So, I don't know if, me, I'm not as pessimistic by nature, Soforo, as maybe you are, but I'm in the neighborhood. No, I'm in the neighborhood, but not on the same street. But yeah. I was a little weary of that at first with that injury, but I think that is healed up, so we don't have to worry about that. But I think what I want to see right now, you're going to have to get an impact shooting guard, because I do think the staff wants to bring Woolley off the bench. So, is that the John Blackwell kid from Wisconsin, potentially? The St. Mary's big man. That is another name that has been popping up here recently as well. And he would be just what the doctor ordered as well for Louisville's front court, with size, with versatility. That dude is a tank. And so if you could grab those two guys, but impact dudes at the 2 and 4, Soforo, are what I want to see Kelsey land next, and that's imperative too. And then also, you're going to have to get a 3-man that's not 6'4", 6'5" like Hadley. Let's get a legitimate 3 and get a stretch 4 and really start to be disruptive defensively with your length.
Okay, see, I'm right there with you. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was looking at the Blackwell, because we've seen, and that's one thing I did want to comment on. Cory, you had retweeted a guy talking about, some rumors out there, and somebody got a little bit too much into their feelings. Because I was saying that I love the dude trust me bro season. I love it. And like, there's a lot of people that I guess because, and I put it in my bio for a reason where I say I'm a college basketball and football outsider, which means I know nothing. I have no I just gather whatever is regurgitated to me and I hear it. I'm not going out of my way to hear leaks and stuff. I texted Blank the other day, and that's about as far as I go to hearing what's going on. That's just not me. So, but the guy had tweeted, and I retweeted this guy that he called me a cuck. I don't know why. But he did.
What did he call you?
He called me a cuck. He was upset. That's what he did. He got upset with me. I don't know, but all I said was, dude, trust me, bro, season is the best. But in his, I guess his comments, somebody was saying a tweet about I guess if they were thinking that Flory and Shelstad would commit today or sometime this thing, and then maybe that may affect Blackwell. I have no idea, but it gets me excited. I will eat the trash.
Speaking of them committing,
I have no problem with eating trash. I enjoy it. It makes me happy.
Speaking of them
committing, Blackwell's not a 1, he's a 2. So then that would, that.
Right.
Our boy Strebel said he'd eat cat food if he got him. And he got him. Get to eating, buddy. Get to eating.
Wait,
get to eat the cat food.
Did he say cat food again if Louisville got these two?
He was
did
just
he really?
Funny.
He signed up again. He's done
but
the
he
cat
said
food thing
that, though.
4 times.
I love Jay. But Jay said it.
Done it. What was the other time he did it? And I don't think he
this is YouTube. This is an ESPN. He said it. I think it was I'm pretty sure it was that Louisville football. I think it was Louisville football with Scott Satterfield had to beat Kentucky. I'm pretty sure that's what
is it going to be. Is it wet or dry cat food? Do we know? Did he specify?
I feel like it has to be dry because that stuff will stick in his throat. The wet stuff I feel like is too close to maybe that's just like a drunk challenge at that point.
Hey, he should eat dry cat food with the nastiest IPA beer. That'd be good.
Oh, he would love it then. He would be in heaven then.
Could you maybe soak it in the beer and then drink and then eat / drink it? Ooh.
See, I know the beer. I think he'll enjoy it too much with alcohol. If you put alcohol in there, that's
what I'm saying.
That's his forte.
He might
go back. He might go back for seconds.
Drew He's going to have to stream that. He's going to have to stream that. I need to see that live. I can't take it in on the radio solely. He's going to have to put something up there on YouTube or something.
The problem with, and I know he'll do it, and I know he will do it, even if it's on the radio. The problem with the radio stuff, and I'm sorry, we don't need a Nick Valvano shaky hand cam that he'll upload, and it's like 8, it looks like an 8-bit or 8 or 16-bit video game or whatever. We don't need that. I need my production. We need the full or the Cory production. We need one of those things, shooting it out and putting it out there live.
Hey, I'll come back in the studio for that. I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Damn right. Drew Hoskins, one of our members, shout out, says, respect to PK getting stellar portal guards in both his first 2 seasons. Chucky and Conwell were top notch. Okay,
Drew, don't compliment them. What are you doing?
No, we need this. We need the compliments. We'll take it. The one
there ain't another compliment on Kentucky's side. Got a compliment somewhere.
And this is how I can kind of work some Kentucky talk into it as well. One of the things that I do want is alongside, the first part, and this is not that, but the first part would be, I would like to have some guard that has a little bit of that bulldog mentality on defense. I want a Chucky Hepburn. Sorry to bring up the name, Andre McGee. I want a player like that. He was a good defender. He was a good defender. We'll give him that.
Let's talk about it more. Let's talk about Louisville greats.
I can tell you, I hadn't changed my ESPN profile in so long when your picture, and I had a picture of Andre McGee dunking, and it was like the first time when they did like the 80s throwback jerseys. I don't know if you remember, because like the one time I remember him dunking. So I made it my profile picture, and it was still that long after everything happened, and I forgot to change it. Anyway, that being said, the 4, what I would really want. My mouth. I know. I'm sorry.
Just like Strebel will when he eats cat food.
Don't worry. The banner's coming back. I'm not worried about it. The banner's coming back. It's going to eventually. It's on his long list. It's on the long list, but it'll come back eventually. I'm not worried about it. And I was there until the NCAA returns the money that I paid to go to all of those games and the travel that I paid. You can't tell me that didn't happen. That being said, the 4th spot is the other place where I'm looking. I want a guy. I need some beef. I need a guy with some beef, with some size, with some girth, if you will. I need a player because that's really that's where we struggled. You know what I mean? Like I watched us get bodied by Arkansas and by Tennessee in those games because they had guys with girth. They had guys with size, guys who would get low and just push you around from the back. And I need somebody to do that on my side.
Did you just say physicality instead?
I'm sorry, physicality. I need physicality. I'm sorry, Ethan.
I need somebody to do that too.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Anyway, but I do want physicality. One of the guys who I personally had targeted that I really like, because I got a soft spot for Syracuse, is Donnie Freeman, who's a guy that Kentucky is targeting as well. I think probably there may be a lean that he may end up there, but that's a guy that I really like. And I like what he brings to the table. 6'9", got some length, got some size. Any kind of opinion from you guys? Okay, yes, I said the length and size. I'm done. Luckily, the people that do the mixtape, it's not me. If I did the mixtape, all this sound would be in it. Dude, I can't tell you, I added like 3 or 4 sounds this week. Just me listening to like Diener say.
You're done for though after this episode. You're cooked, buddy.
No. Tanner ain't watching this. Tanner ain't.
Tanner, holler if you can hear us.
He ain't putting any work into this. But anyway, do you all have any opinion on Freeman? Have you looked much into him? That's a guy that that's who I'm keeping my eye on for Kentucky as well.
How much girth does he have?
He's pretty girthy. I think he was over 2 bills. He's at least over 2 bills, which I mean you'd have to be. You're 6'9". But let me see. I know I had him here. Sorry, I just finally got an iPad, so I'm still trying to figure out how to work this thing, but I have some of my breakdown on here on him. But that's one of the guys. As well, if that's not the guy that you all want, do you have a wish list? Here's the thing with me, and I'm sorry, I'm just run-on sentence guy right now. But Louisville basketball, I know how Louisville basketball plays. I know what PK wants to do. And he wants to have a bunch of shooters. He wants the guys who can fill it up from deep. But now he's making adjustments in the interior where it's necessary. I'm excited to see that because that's what we've needed. How does Mark Pope want to play? I can't really tell you. I
don't
honestly,
think he knows.
Oh, no way. And here's the thing. What guys respond best to him? Colin Chandler. These guys, he's not anybody with a toughness or like a thick skin or like anybody who, I don't know. I feel like it's hard for players to respect him because he just wants to do this nice guy thing. So I feel like the guys that really respect him are a lot of like the type of players he coached at like BYU, like very maybe, I don't know, cerebral players, high basketball IQ players. I don't know how
Nebraska,
you say it, but people like Colin Chandler, okay? And he's
Nebraska,
gone.
little Nebraska basketball.
A little bit less physical, okay? More high basketball IQ, less physical than even Nebraska. All right. So I'm not sure. And I think he did the whole thing this offseason with how do we address the needs that we didn't have last season, which is, get more physicality, address your front court, get some people down there who can be physical on the block and who can rebound. And it blew up in his face because he wanted to do some weird, sophisticated stuff instead of just playing to your strengths. So it doesn't matter. And I think that's why I'm so not bought into even the portal, because I guess it was a little bit more impressive when he played with the scraps-ish that he had the first season, but they played a little bit more his style that we were used to, right? But then when he tried to address it and lost sight of his identity and tried to become like a physical, more of like a bruising team, right? And like a bigger, just more of a front court representation there, presence, it didn't work at all. Like he didn't know how to coach it. So how does he address the needs that he needs to meet? Well, he wasn't able to do it this season, so I don't know how he's going to do it next season. That's why he's just lost me. I'm like, I don't know what he could do to get me to place my hope back into how he recruits or addresses the portal at all. And I don't want to hear. When I was in the studio today getting these headphones, I almost ripped off that Pope is the Hope shirt that is pinned up there. I was like, this is disrespectful to me and my culture.
My culture. One of my favorite things is that also while you're in there, Andy has that cutout that's edited of Papa John with like Andy and him edited over.
Picture of it.
So the 2 guys that are normally in that photo are my 2 of my fraternity brothers. Shout out Jimmy Uzzolino and Alec Jones. Both of those guys, Jimmy from New Jersey. If you see the big Italian dude, you can tell which one he is. But those two guys, that's one of my favorite photos of all time. And just that they were able to get that, it's going to live on forever. But but anyway, let me see. I see a couple comments in here. Why? Okay, some people asking why would okay, to touch on that, and that's something I had written down, and like I guess this is early on in the week when I'm preparing for like whatever we want to talk about, and like I said, it changes by the day. Like I said, like I don't even know why I do any prep before today because nothing is going to stay the same. But one of the things I was looking back on what went wrong for Louisville, and a lot of like where I look at it, especially when you look at the failures, I guess, in the transfer portal last season with the big men, and it was because of that investment in Case and Pryor. And I think they thought that they had their man probably for most of the season, thought that he was going to bring a lot of what Louisville brought early on. To see. I like Case a lot. I really do. I don't know. I know a lot of people, have weird feelings about it. I still like him. Has there been a weird rumbling, Ethan, about like he could have more time or something here, or like what's been going on with that?
I mean, he did put in for a waiver, and technically, since I think he played JUCO a year or something, he has a good chance of winning this appeal to have a 7th year of eligibility. Now, I don't think that's going to be at Louisville. The amount of money that he's made over the last 2 years playing in just like 18 games or something crazy. I mean, if he wanted to come back to Louisville again, I don't think he is. I mean, then I would be like, sure, but like you're not making any NIL money because like the amount that he made for, not playing that much. I don't, I'm pretty sure both years combined was over 7 figures. So, and then just the little investment that you got out of that.
That's a girthy amount.
I wish him well. I hope he lands somewhere. Yeah. What'd you say, Cory?
That's a girthy amount.
A lot of girth. A lot of girth in that bank account.
Additionally, I guess additionally, going off of that though, when you talk about the amount of money that maybe was spent on him last year, I guess, do we feel like last year the number was around 8-9 million for the team? Is that what it was, or was it more than that? Because I can never tell.
I thought it was like 10 or 11.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was closer to 10 or 11. Yeah, than 8 or 9. But again, who knows? We don't know for sure. But yeah, I think it was over 10.
Well, what I've heard, I guess, and that's why I hate it. I love it, but I hate it. Is all these numbers that are thrown out there. Who knows the accuracy to it? Talk about Kentucky in 22 last year, and now it seems like everybody else though is now beefing up how much they're spending. Even Josh Hurd and the athletic department and the president who went out there and put out this whole letter that they penned about how we can't afford to keep doing this. And now I guess like the rumor I heard today was like Louisville's, I don't know, are they spending like 17 mil this season? Because that's at least what I had heard. I have no idea if that's accurate or not. But if right now there's like 3 other teams that are also spending that same kind of amount of money. And if you're Kentucky, do you keep doing that? Do you do it again? Do you go back and do they still give him 22 mil to work with this team?
No, I mean like misappropriation of funds. Learn how to use the money first. And like get backups to your people if that was such an issue. Like get a financial advisor, Mark Pope. What the hell?
Well, I think his biggest issue since he's been here is going after JQ. Like, you cannot sit there and give that kind of money to a person you know is not going to play.
That is what irritates the fuck out of me.
There it is.
Boom.
Italian.
Hurt. He didn't randomly get hurt. He was hurt coming into the fucking season. So you're stupid for how you spent your own fucking money. Like, give me a break. Do not spend $22 million again because I don't trust you. This is what I say to myself every paycheck that I get. And it hasn't worked for me, but I hope it works for Marco.
I guess because he was on the mend at that time. Because, I mean, wasn't Jackson
Shelstad? It doesn't matter.
Wasn't he injured for all the season for Louisville or for Oregon last year? And now Louisville's bringing him in? Wasn't he injured for quite a bit of the season?
Yeah, so he only played 12 games for Oregon, but it was a hand injury, and I think he had surgery to repair that. And the hand, obviously, is a little bit different than an ACL for a big man. So when he got hurt, I think JQ got hurt or something, had surgery in March. And then his camp was sitting there saying, I remember after he had signed, he was like, well, he'll be ready to go in maybe November, December. I'm like, no, he's not.
Yeah.
7-footer is going to be coming back from an ACL injury that quick.
There's no way. I remember this offseason, there was, is it Juju Watkins who plays for USC? And it's like her and JQ tore their ACLs. And I know it's different between men and women, right? But like she was projected to be out the entire next season. And with JQ, they were like, oh no, like he could potentially go start of the season. Like what? Also, I love we just got a comment that was like, I feel like Mark Pope is ruining Anna's calm. Anna's never had calm. So I don't know where this is coming from, but he is making it worse. He's making it a bit worse. Because he's too calm.
He's making you cuss.
So I will bring.
What's Anna got in the cup? Is that Diet Coke or wine? What are you drinking?
It's at Scissor.
Okay. This was this is Scissor, baby. This is cough syrup and no, I'm just kidding. It's Cabernet from I took a little to-go cup from Hop Atomic earlier. So yeah, but this is a DC.
The Blake and Baker way.
There you go. Come on, baby. And that's why I love Blank. Blank's my number one guy. I love that guy.
The Blake and Baker way.
I did see, I saw Blake and Baker in the wild on Friday night.
Was it jarring?
No, it was actually it was jarring because he kind of looked like a deer in headlights. He was just wandering around the Yum Center. I was at Disney on Ice for my kids. Phil Baker, shout out, gave me those tickets. So like my wife and our family and everybody's we're all there, and then Phil Baker's on the other side, like sitting there, and then so I didn't expect to see him. I'm like, okay, we're the only ones here. Okay, got it. And then I wander about, and I just see Blank, who's wearing his U of L polo. He's got to be repping his U of L polo, but he's just wandering around, no child. So I don't know what he was doing there. I don't know if it's just like every event he has to be at the Yum Center. I would imagine he has a daughter, so it seems highly likely that she was there at some point.
No, I think he was going. His 3-year-old.
Yeah. I like it better when he was just there by himself without his family.
It just gotta be.
Did you not say hello to him? Did you not say hi?
Here's the thing. I was standing in line. No, well, it was packed. Like there was actually a lot. It was during the intermission, and it was packed. And my child, my oldest, was like. He was milking me. Okay, that's okay. Weird way to say that. He was trying to get me to. He was He was trying to get me to buy, and I was a sucker, and I bought like 3 things there for him or whatever. Like just all the crap that's overpriced.
$75.
Some like bullshit popcorn that comes with a Stitch's head on top of it, and he gets to wear a stupid looking hat, and he's already thrown it away and destroyed it. So it's fine. That was like $35. So there it goes. There it goes. I'm just setting money on fire for my children. Oof. But no, at that point, I was just. I also, I didn't know what state Blank was in. So I wasn't sure around my child if it was a good time. I didn't know
he was extremely hungover. That was the day after he went to Keeneland.
Well, then I texted him. I did text him.
Sorry.
I did text him today.
He was kerfuffled. My bad.
Depending on how it goes, any interest. But he was having like a pool and drinking day, so I wasn't going to bother Blank today. He said next time he'll join us. So we'll see if we get in on it. Couple other people. Louisville better tap into that endowment and cozy up to some billionaires and negotiate some better media rights within the ACC or without. I mean, somebody's funding this. there's money to be paid for these players. So I'm not asking questions. I'll ask questions when they come to the table and say that they can't afford players.
Speaking of that, I want to switch to football for a second.
Okay, you got a quarterback. Good job. Just kidding. Go ahead.
But no, I'm talking about for Louisville, like. Maybe this is what Jeff Brom is really like fighting for. Like, how can basketball get it, but I can't? And I'm one of your own. You're supposed to take care of your own. I don't know. Maybe that's.
I think that's what he was advocating for. But then I think too, once they got that roster, I think he got what he needed. Now maybe he had to fight for it a little bit more than he needed to or wanted to. But I think he ended up getting that. For this upcoming season, I think the question becomes, can this be now something that he can expect year in and year out? And who knows what the sticking point is with this extension, but it should have been done months ago. Very frustrating that we're still talking about a contract extension, and we've been talking about it since November.
Yeah, I'm frustrated. I was thinking about this today while I was mowing the lawn because I'm not as like passionate as some people are that are really angry at Josh Hurd for not getting it done. I can understand some of the arguments. I'm not, it's not completely transparent exactly, I guess, what exactly all the sticking points. So like I'm taking what I hear, and I'm taking what one side is saying, I'm taking what the other side is saying, or at least what they're alluding to in these conversations, and that makes it so much more difficult for me to really say who's right or who's in the wrong. Because I also understand Josh Hurd maybe not wanting, if that buyout is such a point of contention, not wanting to, you don't want to fully give up your power. Even though it's a guy who loves the program, loves all that, you don't fully want to give up so that way he could just go whenever. But I also understand the Jeff Brom side, which is, you better fucking pay me. You better give me that fucking money so I can go buy these players. Otherwise, I will go to one of these teams. And there's a fire right here. Sorry, I almost burnt my hand. I forgot that I had a candle lit, and I almost put my hand in it. So I'm not. I am very exactly. I'm very much. Sorry, I'm Nick Valvano. I am sitting a cheek on each side of the fence right now. I'm really not as bothered as a lot of people.
Hella pause.
I'm just being
Come on.
honest.
So you go from girth talk to double cheek talk.
Double cheek talk on a Tuesday.
What are you doing here, buddy?
Anyway, let's see. Let's change the subject. Why not 7x7?
All right,
Stokes will require at least $5 to $7 million, up to 10 if Pope is seeking attention.
What?
I don't understand the last part, if he's seeking attention. But I guess if he pays 10, if Pope is willing to, I don't know, make a big splash with it. But to me, that's stupid. That would be asinine to spend $10 million on a player.
Yes, Anna. Like, look at us. We're balling with all the most expensive roster last season. You'd be an idiot. You'd be an idiot to try to overspend on somebody. Don't care who it is if you can't use what you already had.
Yeah.
What's the Italian word I'm looking for when it comes to that? Fugazi. Yeah.
Fugazi.
That's not even a real Italian word. That's a made up word. That's not even. I mean,
well, whatever.
Made up, but it's not even a real Italian word. Sorry, you did.
I liked it, but it's true.
Brom's leverage hinges on the Ole Miss SMU games. Win and he has free reign. Lose and he'll have to deal with what he gets.
Well, now hold on. He could still lose, but still go 11-1, and you're still in the playoff. You're still in the ACC title game.
ACC.
It's not make or break.
So strong, me. Sorry.
Well, guys, Anna, you said that. Well, you said that with the ACC. Now, remember though, every time the ACC gets dissed, they were 6-8. The SEC was 6-8 against the Miami ACC this year in football. A losing record. They had a losing record of the ACC the last 2 out of 3 years.
Ethan, I respect you and I love you, but you're not going to make me respect ACC football. It ain't going to happen.
All right. I just had to throw the stat out there.
Yeah. Okay. I did have a question. Okay. Back a little bit to basketball. I do have a question for each of y'all. Of the players that are in the portal currently for each of your teams, that haven't already committed somewhere else, if you had to pick one to bring back, who would it be and why? And I'll let you go first, since we go U of L first. We'll go UK first. Anybody in the portal? Any player that you have currently in the portal that hasn't committed elsewhere? So like Aberdeen's out, Colin Chandler. Well, Colin Chandler.
He don't even have eligibility.
He'll find it.
I mean, like Colin Chandler would be my only like.
Let me see.
Colin Chandler, like that. I don't know who.
Yeah,
that would be it. And that's not saying a lot. That's a sad state of affairs, isn't it? That's a sad state of affairs. Colin Chandler.
That ain't Kentucky basketball.
No.
Right.
It's also disheartening. It's also just, I don't know, but I guess Colin Chandler, because I think he was the player who responded best to Mark Pope, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man. I don't like any of it. I don't like where it's heading,
Okay, let's. Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, I guess all you have is Jalen Lowe, Jasper Johnson, and Diabate. I guess because I didn't realize.
Did Chandler already commit, or like you said, he doesn't have eligibility? Is that who you were talking about?
Chandler committed. No, he's talking about Aberdeen. I think you're talking about Aberdeen.
Aberdeen, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
I guess Jalen Lowe, but like still with the shoulder, I'm okay that he's leaving because it's the same thing we talked about a second ago with the injuries and what you can trust. And a shoulder's especially precarious, right? So I don't know. Like from this past season, just a total bad taste in my mouth that, start all over. But I don't know if I'm Mark Pope, my head would be completely tied up. It's like, how do I make the team better than, how do I make amends for the weaknesses that we had in my first season without making it the total disaster that it was the second season? And I would classify it as a total disaster if you spend that much money and you suck.
I'm trying to look.
But if you have freaking like 30-point losses, like I don't care. He won a few games in the tournament. Like, don't care. If another team is saying we knew they would lay down and give up, just like get away from my program. I don't care who you bring in because at that point, it's more of like a will to and a want to than any talent that you have.
Yeah.
I mean, look at St. John's roster. Look at what Rick Pitino did with them. Look at how bad they sucked at the beginning of the season. Like, none of it matters. I'm over the hype. But do what a good coach does with what he can with what he has. And if you can't do whatever with a $22 million roster, I don't expect you to do fucking shit with anybody else who you get next season.
I like the language. It's impressive.
I can't help it. And this is light.
She's passionate about this. I
with hatred.
I mean, I guess my issue with when people bring up the Rick thing though is like that's just Rick doing what Rick does. Like he breaks down his team during that part of the year. So like, yes, he lost to Kentucky, which is also what he does.
I want a coach who abuses players. Okay, I'll be the first one to say it. Emotionally abuse them. I'm okay with it.
I don't know if Danny Hurley falls into that. It might be. Okay. So I mean, yeah, I guess do you have one, Cory, from that list? Unfortunately, only 3. I didn't realize there were only 3 because I forget how many guys also were done. And
I mean, Chandler, that's it. Like, I ain't trying to like piggyback, but there's literally nobody else that you can say or that you would want to say because of the injuries and everything else. Like, that's literally the only person.
Yeah,
nobody else.
One thing I think I have a way to twist this. I guess once we go.
Plus, I don't want nobody. You as a coach, especially as a coach at a program like Kentucky, you don't want nobody that don't want to be there. I don't care how good you are. If you don't want to be here, don't be here.
Yeah.
Bye.
The way that I want to twist this is I'm going to go to Ethan about Louisville. Is there anybody, and then maybe for you all to think of, is there anybody that you would actually take who Louisville has in the transfer portal at Kentucky? And
I'd take Fruit in a heartbeat. Okay. I definitely would take Fruit.
All right, Ethan.
So, am I going to answer that question, vice versa, or who I want back from Louisville?
So right now you're on Louisville. You're on your team. So Louisville,
Roots.
And we got Frew, Roos, Mohamed Kamara. You got Spencer Legg, and then you got Zugris, who just went in the portal today.
Pass on
Kamara. I'm going with Roots. So you need some depth, quality depth coming off the bench. You need somebody that can be a disruptor defensively. You need length at that 4 spot, something that Louisville sorely needed collectively all season last year. We didn't get that. We got that in spurts from Roots. I think the biggest knock on his game was that he wasn't consistent. There was a stretch there. We had 2 back-to-back double-double games, and then after that, he'd pull a Houdini and disappear, and you wouldn't hear from him for a couple weeks, and then boom, he plays well. Again, he had a phenomenal game in the ACC tournament, lost against Miami, scored 11 points in 9 minutes. I didn't know why he didn't play more in that game, but then didn't do anything in the tournament. So for me, I would take him back. I know Cory said Frew for his team. If Frew was like a backup, I'd be down for it, but like he shouldn't play starters minutes. And I'm glad that Kelsey was over his soft play in the paint. I mean, the dude, like he had the tools, but too many times, man, he would like attempt a layup, get blocked, and then fall down. I'm like, bro, somebody 6'4" blocked you, number one. And then number 2, you fell down after you got blocked by the 6'4" dude. Like, come on, quit. So for me, it's Roots. And I would take Aberdeen if he were able to finagle another year of eligibility. I mean, I think that's a kid that's, great athleticism, streaky
How weird
shooter,
is
but
that
he's
though?
also good at the rim.
Him, Florida, Kentucky, and
Well,
you're going
Cory,
back to
isn't he
Florida.
going to try to say, like, I want to complete my degree or something to try to get another year of eligibility?
Trash.
I think so. Yeah, I think he'll get it too. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if you play that academic card, you very well could. Yeah,
yeah.
That is so strange. Like if I were Todd Golden, I'd be like, why do you want to come back? If you left once, that would be a no for me, dog.
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously,
but I think
like
Pope and them dropped a bag for him too. I think they offered to double what he got at Florida. So that's hard to turn down. I mean, as we're seeing in this day and age, it's hard to turn down. Somebody's going to double what you're making. That's how Louisville lost James Scott to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Oh, I would be such a sellout. I would be a sellout for my bank account.
Hey, isn't James Scott in the portal now too?
Is he?
I haven't heard. I mean,
let me check.
I think he spurned Louisville so bad. Because he went into the portal the very last day. I think he went in there maybe the last hour before midnight on that last day, and it really left Louisville in a lurch in that front court. They were not prepared for it, but Ole Miss was like, "Bet we're going to double what you're making," and then
he's not in the portal. Not right now.
Oh, he's not.
No, Corin Johnson's the one you're thinking of. Scoring Corin, the other Louisville player.
Scoring Corin, 2 points a game? Good job, bro.
Yes, sassy Ethan, let's go.
Real quick, guys.
I started talking about Frew. He started frustrating me.
Sassy.
I knew. Sassy, okay, complimentary, not derogatory, okay?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Again, shout out to everybody who's in here watching this. I appreciate we've had it's a ton of support right now. It's hard to keep track of.
This shows 830 people right now.
At least, and like it doesn't really keep up with the YouTube number. That's more, it's weird how it does it exactly. But guys, appreciate you all tuning in. If you haven't already, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. Even if you're watching it on Facebook or Twitter or wherever you're watching, subscribe on YouTube. We bring a lot more content on there. I post the daily videos I do and the reels and all that stuff on there. And we try to highlight all our great shows like Ethan Moore, Louisville Sports Live, Tarullo when she was, and maybe hopefully she'll have time again to join Struble over there on the round table and all the great programming we have at ESPN Louisville. Also do want to shout out, because I didn't do this. I've been really good about it lately, Anna, when we've been doing it, but I forgot this time to shout out our sponsors. I want to shout out, we're going with Boom Boss Pizza this time. Shout out to Boom Boss. They always they're big supporters of the station and Struble and all of his nonsense as well. All his rage-induced reels that I put out and tag them in. So maybe make sure you check out Boom Boss locations all over Eastern Parkway. You got one over off Hurstbourne near where I live, and all kinds of stuff like that. So make sure you tune in and make sure you support our sponsors there. Again, subscribe, all that. I think my pick for this one of those players, and it's actually kind of hard for me because there's 2 to 3 guys that I really am kind of I don't want to say I really like, but then I'm really in that same level because I really like Kenai Roos. Roos is the guy, he impregnated me. He was the first impregnation that I had at the station. Oh, Ethan, I don't know if Ethan knows about
pregnancy.
That. I don't know if Ethan's heard. Ethan, I apologize. Ethan, have you heard the impregnation bit at all, or are you aware of its existence?
I am aware of it, but I haven't heard that.
You're better off.
We've gotten aware of it.
You're better off that you haven't heard it. There's plenty of people that get upset. It's a 50-50.
He's got a Val Venus voice. You remember the wrestler Val Venus?
It is. Yeah,
that's who he sounds like, Ethan.
That sounds like a derogatory way of saying Valvano.
It does, but no, Val Venus is actually his name. I didn't know about it because I'm not a wrestling guy. I had to look it up, but I did use his.
Well, now you know why it was. The character portrayed was kind of real life.
Yeah, I used the background saxophone music for the bit I used. Ethan, it's funny at least a little bit. You can listen to my last one.
Send it to me.
I'll send it to you. The last one I did was was my top 5 Final Four moments that Phil asked me to do last second. I'll send it to you. I apologize ahead of time. Like I said, it's a 50-50 hit. 50% of the people hate it and want it to fucking burn. The other 50 love it, including a 72-year-old woman who texted in and said that it was her favorite bit of the station. So shout out. I'm going to guess your name is Doris. I don't know. Anyway, of the players that I would take, I love Kanai Roos, whatever. But I'm going to shift away from one of yours. I think it was between the two of these two players. I think I'm going to go. I think it's actually going to be Zugris, because that was a guy who I feel like you could probably utilize a little bit in that 4 spot.
He developed towards the end. He showed a lot of promise there towards the end of the year. He started getting better.
I love the energy. I love the girthiness. He's got the size.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
He's a handsome guy. He's a handsome kid.
No, he is.
Wow.
He is. I like I said, I even showed my wife. I was like, just like I do every night. Like when Ethan hops on, I go, look at this guy. Look at this dude. Look how handsome this guy is. And I show her, and I'm like, look how handsome Ethan Moore is. He gets. But anyway, no. But similarly, I'm like Zugris. Like, look at this dude. And I'm like, just look. Like, he is what I expect a Greek guy.
I have deleted tweets about that kid. I'm like,
and then my wife says, as she should. She goes, he's got weird ears. His ears are weird. And I'm like, thank you.
Who was looking at his ears?
That's what I need. She is, because she's looking at all this.
Okay, because
she's looking at all this. 3 children I've given her. Maybe another one. We'll see how it goes. We got time. We're working on it.
If you're not impregnated, somebody has to be.
Exactly. But that's why we're a team over here, me and Tarullo. But Zugris, I like the energy. I like what he just brought to the table, and I think that's a guy that really did a lot there at the end. And a couple of those games, he really put Louisville on his back. So I would have at least given him one more season. But unfortunately, I guess maybe the writings on the wall there, that maybe they weren't going to invest in him, at the level, I guess, of what he would need. Tarullo, is there one? Did you answer?
What did I say? Colin Chandler?
No, for Louisville. If there's a Louisville dude, or you hate everybody at Louisville sucks, I get it. Okay,
let's bring the bone structure. Let's bring the handsome kid in. It'll just make watching games better.
Just something to look at.
Bring in the good-looking Balkan kid, okay? Greece counts as the Balkans, okay?
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, okay. This, and then I feel like there's one more story I have to touch on. I don't know if I really should or how much I want to, but I feel like I have to touch on it a little bit just to get your all's opinion. And I was going to ask Anna, if it was just going to be the two of us, I was going to ask her this, but it's a fine line, so I do want to, we'll touch on that one last. So I'll just say this. I guess, Ethan, who's the next guy you're really watching hard right now for Louisville in the portal, and what's the one that you really think? I know you said where you would go, but who do you think has the best to pop, if you will?
I was waiting for you to say girthiness or size again, but I'm glad you didn't. John Blackwell at Wisconsin. This is a kid, good size, junior, be a senior, 6'3", number 5 consensus top in the portal. I think 247 has him maybe number 2 overall. On 3 has him at number 5. He's a kid, certainly. He's getting looked at by Duke, Illinois. It's basically every elite program that's in need of a 2-guard at the starting role. They're contacting him, and then his name kind of emerged onto the scene today. So hopefully, I mean, if like I said earlier, Louisville needs a 2 and a 4. If you can get the 2 locked in as far as the starter goes, I mean, I think John Blackwell would pair nicely with Shelstad and Bidunga already. And if you can get those 3 guys in there and then shift your focus to getting an impact 4, then certainly Kelsey is well on his way to adapting and adjusting, because that's what we've been talking about all season long. Once we saw that pattern emerge about there not being able to meet the physicality of the quad 1A type of teams, I think he lands Blackwell. He lands, perhaps maybe the St. Mary's guy at the 4. And there's some talented wings there's a talented wing, Cam Walker, maybe from UNC Asheville. They're looking at him as well. They get some of those guys, but Blackwell for me from Wisconsin is who I have my eyes on, and hopefully Pat Kelsey can keep things rolling. He's 2 for 2 so far, sealing the deal. Perhaps Blackwell could be number 3. We'll see.
Cory Tarullo in the other one. Somebody you really want?
I'll go first because I know it's gonna be quick, and at the risk of sounding like uneducated or uninterested, I truly, it's a double-edged sword here. I don't trust Pope's recruiting ability on anybody good, honestly. And after how last season went and how excited everybody was with the talent that was brought in, anybody good feels unrealistic, which what a horrible sign for that. But then also it's I don't trust Pope to not misuse them. And I'm not just trying to lean on being a hater because I don't have any type of other educated opinion. That is, if I'm being genuine article, authentic how I feel, that's how I feel. It's not because I'm not tuned into it or not paying attention to it. I just don't feel, I don't know. I just don't trust them to do anything good. There's nobody that I feel could turn how I feel about what next season is going to go. I don't think anybody's going to change it unless it is LeBron James in his prime.
You're sitting in a spot I feel like that I sat in, a couple years ago where it was just get this bleep over with. That's cool. He's got a 4 or 5 star kid who, whatever, it doesn't matter anything to me. He's not going to coach him up. He's not going to get him anywhere. Just get me on to the next guy at this point.
Yeah, that's how I feel. 1000%.
Cory?
So then if you go that way, then it's almost like Pope was just a bridge coach. Okay, cool. That's fine and dandy, Sandy. But who you going to get? Who you bridging for?
I think you got to start looking at assistants. You got to start looking at assistants. I mean, I think Tommy Lloyd was an assistant for a long time who was good, but no, I don't think it is so sad. I think you can't automatically go to who has been a proven head coach places, or even John Shire at Duke. It's I understand that's the K coaching tree and he played for him, right? But I think you have to broaden your horizon and even just look at some of the smaller schools. But
get Doc Rivers. He's not at the Bucks no more. Get Doc Rivers.
Well, think about too, just Ben McCollum. I think that was a huge thing at Iowa that he's choosing to stay and not even look at the North Carolina job. I think we're going to look back and really be that was a huge turning point. That now all the money and all the prestige, it doesn't matter as much. If you're successful somewhere where you are, loyalty is different. It's the whole slate has been cleared. It feels let's say half a century ago, college basketball is restarting in this era where you could be anywhere and you can win, and it doesn't matter that you have the prestige or the money around the program, because there's money around every program now, especially if you're finding ways to win. So I think it's a whole new era that doesn't guarantee coaches at a blue blood or a big name school a bigger advantage over staying where they are. And in fact, it can be an advantage to be at a school with less pressure. So I think you got to get creative. So I'm excited. I hope the future of all of this, I think the biggest answer that we're looking for, that we're talking about, lies in who you're going to approach for AD. You need somebody young. You need somebody aggressive. You need somebody who is not already tied to the school in any way, or any of the people funding or promoting their NIL. You can read between the lines on that one. But hopefully you bring in somebody new and young and aggressive and go from there. And I think that's where my buy-in will come back in. But I'm sick of doing this stupid, let's bring a former assistant or player who not assistant, a former player back in.
It's just a weird trend.
Or that there's even an advantage to being at a blue blood program now, because the advantage is different than what it was 3 years ago, 5 years ago.
Do you know who I think could take off for you guys? Do you know who I think could take off for you guys if Pope is fired? Jay Lucas, Miami.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say.
Ooh, in the making.
Yeah, you're damn right. You're damn right.
That's
and of course, he was there, right? I mean, he was there for a year or two as an assistant.
He was there when I worked for BB and Tonight, and I got to interview. Great guy, great dude. And I just always want to make sure, not in the Calipari coaching tree. Okay, I think his dad was a coach, his grandpa was a coach. Don't get it twisted. Cal didn't, build him up in any way.
I think he's going to be the next star.
At Miami. I agree with you wholeheartedly. What he's built at Miami was pretty impressive.
Yeah, and shout out Trice. He was the one who also put that in the comments. I don't know if y'all saw that, but that was that's what he said.
Trice, yeah,
as well. And I totally forgot about him too. So I'm glad Ethan brought that one up. Cory, Anything coach for you? do you have one that you really like, or is it really just kind of and said that we're going. Here's the thing. Here's what I hate doing this, and I'm trying to every time that Anna and I come on here and we do this show. It's so hard because you're doing the same thing. I mean, Ethan knows. Ethan did this for 2 years straight or whatever, where it's just like it just slowly devolves into who's the next coach going to be. Like it just slowly devolves. That's the conversation every single time, and it's like so hard to try to keep it on track of players or just anything else because we're just so looking ahead. And I just have a difficult time because that's what people want to talk about half the time. That's like even Mark Pope, regardless, people wanted to talk about who's going to replace him.
I'll say this,
but something that's different though with Pope and 12 and 52. I think if next year looks a lot like this year and the writing's on the wall, I think Pope is plugged in enough to be like, you know what, I'm going to mutually part ways and not be
also
oblivious to what's going on like 12 and 52 was.
Mm-hmm.
Disagree with this comment. BB and Blue Vapor said, LOL. And it's hopeless attitude regarding Pope represents approximately 1% of UK fans. Okay, not trying to make fun of you, BB and Blue Vapor. Thank you for tuning in. We always appreciate that. But that is not true at all. That is not true at all. You're out of touch, my guy, my friend.
If I'm a coach,
a UK fan with a brain cell. Sorry, Cory, I've interrupted you.
No, you're all right. If I'm a coach, I'm gonna be hesitant because not only are you if there uncertainty with managing of funds, there's an uncertainty of the athletic director position. Like that's going to play a part too moving forward past Pope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are they just going to be a puppet for Mitch Barnhart? Is it just going to be
exactly? Because if trust me, as long as Mitch has been around, if he's still going to be there, he's still going to be involved more than he should. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like his new CIA job he's getting paid for, getting $1 million a year.
Aaron Wells asked Ethan, have you talked to Ted lately?
Is that Dr. Ted or another
That's the only
Ted
I know that you know.
Aaron, clarify.
I know a couple Teds.
Okay, so
is it Ted from LAC back in the day, or is it Dr. Ted?
Well,
both of these sound like made up people.
The one thing I do know is Aaron is a famous caller into the station. Most people know. I'm not Aaron. Aaron. Am I okay? Am I okay to say it? To say who you are? Or you just say yes or no? Just a comment, a yes or no, I guess, real quick. But I'll text. I'll tell you. I'll text you all later. But I don't want to just put it on here if you don't know. By the way, BBM
is his name an alias?
Yeah, it's an alias. It's a very well-known alias.
LOL, Anna. I don't think you want to be comparing number of brain cells with me. Okay, say something smarter.
Sorry, I didn't mean to highlight. I shouldn't have highlighted. I should have not. I just saw that he responded before I read what he said. Anyway,
hey, Anna, tell him you got your brain cells on the wall behind you.
No, those are Phil's, honey. That is my father's. That is nothing.
I was trying to have your back there. Sorry.
Oh no, it says Louisville. That's why I said no.
Oh yeah, it does say Louisville.
Yeah. But like, come on, man. Say something smarter, BBM Blue Vapor.
Okay. All right. So anyway, guys, make sure to like, smash, subscribe, all that good stuff. I guess the story that I have to touch on, and it's more just because I was going to ask Anna her opinion on it. But also I do, Ethan, I don't know. Yeah, Ethan, you've been out of town. Cory, I don't know if you've had to comment on it, but the whole situation surrounding Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. And Anna's kind of freezing up a little bit. So like, okay, there she is. Yeah, okay. I do want to hear your opinion on this. As
Jake's hands like Birdman.
Yes. Have you how closely have you been following this? How invested in it? How invested in the coverage by Jared Stillman? J-Bone have you been?
Impressive.
Because J-Bone has been crushing it. Like
get a hat tip.
He's made for this. I thoroughly enjoy it, but the entire situation, and then I did have Andy reach out to me asking if it looks like a private investigator's work. It's like it could have been, but it's also just like that angle. Anybody with a decent camera now at this point can get those kind of photos. But I think something came out that it wasn't. Anyway, Anna, your opinions on this?
Look like
situation.
an Android phone photo. Oh.
He took that with a rock. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But I just, you as a woman in sports media, I guess formerly, still a little bit, you don't really want to think that really happens, I think. And was it recently? There was something that happened. Oh, it was with the Michigan coach. He that guy had like DM'd me like 1 month before all of that broke. I was like, what? And then like this article came in, it was like all these whores that this man is DMing. I was like, oh my God, he DM'd me. But it's like very easy to say no if you have any self-respect. So I don't buy. I literally abhor and I hate the narrative that like, oh my God, like it's somebody's boss or it's like a man in a position of power and she had no choice. Bull fucking shit. You had every choice. And it's just the whole thing grosses me out because it gives a bad name for every female journalist who is not doing that. And I'm not trying to be holier than thou or more moral or whatever, but like it never even you do it because of the love of your game. In fact, if anything, I feel like it's a turnoff for a lot of men too. It's like if you're very opinionated about stuff, especially sports, guys don't love that. So like add that to the mix that like, oh, like you got to sleep around to get sources or whatever. It is such a bad fucking look. And I hate that. And I feel so bad for her husband. I feel awful. She's talked shit on that man for years. And I'm like, why are you even married to him? And I feel bad for Vrabel's wife. The whole thing is disgusting to me. And I thought Rossini was really cool. And like, granted, I don't want to like be on record here. I don't know the full story. I think the pictures are, it's hard not to just go with that. But I thought Rossini was very cool. And she was like almost like a guy's girl, but like in a good way, not in like a gross, weird sellout way. That I was like, she seemed cool to hang out with. And it didn't seem like she cared. This is funny. It didn't seem like she cared too much about her looks or whatever was going on. Guess she did. But I don't know. I don't get it. It's disgusting to me. And it's disgusting that people would ever look at me or some of my friends and think that would ever happen or ever go on. I just hate the name that's even a possibility, that a big name like that who's really made it. And, you know, being in the industry, there's a lot of women I've heard of that's how they did get where they are. And I'm like, all right. I don't think it would have changed anything I did if I knew that were a possibility. I'd probably have a lot better job, but I don't know. It's sad.
Do you like, so you actually, this is more common. Like maybe I'm a child here, and maybe I'm like, this is really like, this is what I mean. I know
you are the youngest of the four. Yes.
Yeah, I guess I am. Wait, am I really? How old are you?
You're not. I'm the youngest.
Oh yeah. It is. It is. But how old do you think she is? No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this game.
Nah. She asked. I'll give an honest answer. I'll give an honest answer.
You don't have to answer that. Don't answer that.
Nah. Don't. This will traumatize her, and she'll just be like, "Wait, what?"
21.
No. Yes, 21. I don't know. Maybe I am naive in this, but I was just like, "Oh yeah, hey, attractive females going, and that's it's a plus because they're attractive." But I'm not thinking, "Oh, hey, these attractive females are literally crossing lines to do this." It's just it's the benefit of them being attractive that they get these roles and these jobs.
Right. Well, because like with the TV.
What is Jody Dimling doing? How is Jody Dimling getting all these scoops? What is he doing? Anyway. Okay.
Do we want to know who wants to do the
What has he done? Jody, what have you done?
Anyway. What the hell is going on, Adam Schefter? Who was your boyfriend?
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
hey, that's a good point. Like, what's Adam done? Like
Ty Spalding, Travis Branham. What are you all doing? What are these deals? How are all these things getting by? Matt Jones. Anyway.
Hey, speaking of it, how about the lack of coverage? How about the lack of coverage from ESPN? Well, what's different with this? How about the reporter from Jacksonville? How much she got dog walked for trying to comfort Liam Cohen. And they talked about that for damn near a week, 2 weeks, bashing that lady. But yet when it comes to one of your own doing something you all know she shouldn't or he shouldn't do, you're crickets. Well, I find that hogwashing funny. I
don't know if you remember, but didn't Portnoy come out and say, yeah, I told them they can't talk about it. They're not allowed to talk because he's a fan of the Patriots, like for Barstool.
Trash.
He said, no, they're not talking about it because this is my team. I would love
that
to.
Is so pathetic.
Part of me, though,
and I love Dave.
I would love to have that kind of power to be like, no, we ain't talking about
it. That's bullshit.
No,
that's
Katina
bullshit.
Powell, we ain't talking about Katina Powell on this station. It didn't happen. It didn't happen, according to me.
Wait a second.
That's
Script was.
I say it's bullshit because look how many years he bashed Roger Goodell. Now all of a sudden, because it involves the coach of your favorite team, man, that's bullshit, Dave.
Well, I think too, it's just like, and this reminded me of when I worked in TV before sports. I worked in New York and I worked in DC at a big network, and I left there. I was there about 3 years, and I left there being like, oh well, like why even get married? Because everyone cheats on their spouse. And then I moved back home to Kentucky. I was like, whoa, I got brainwashed by that, because you just see these people who are in high profile positions, and that's just like the norm. So I think you can get lost in the sauce there and think you're not doing anything crazy, but it is crazy to any normal person, and it's disgusting. And I think as a woman, especially as a married woman, like how dare you go into that and not have your bearings about you and not have respect for she has like kids with that guy, with her husband as well. It's just the whole thing just makes me very, very sad. And it's like, it just makes you want to take a step back and really look at yourself and be like, why am I doing this? Why am I in this? If it's to get attention from people who other people know, you might need to recalibrate and reassess that,
Hey, speaking of her husband, what would be his pickup line? I know, like, sir, who are you? I'm Diana Rossini's ex-husband. Oh, really?
Do you know Mike Vrabel? Is he on your phone? If not, maybe we could go out sometime.
Oh, buddy. I do just want to say, like, if you all haven't, anybody's out there, if you haven't watched the Stillman stuff on it, it's peak. Like it's
phenomenal.
It's so good. Like I hope he wins awards. He was on US Weekly with 2 million followers or whatever tweeted him out. Wow. J-Bone just in the middle of that thing, and it's amazing. He's talking about how he's dropping the if we had more time, whatever, I was gonna play the video, but it's good. Just go check it out. He talks about how he got invited to the same party as Mike as Vrabel and her, and that he was gonna go up to them and call them out, or get your story straight because I'm talking about this on Monday or something like that. It's so good. Anyway, we've been going for an hour and a half. Ethan, Cory, appreciate y'all for joining me. Tarullo, as always, enjoy you being on here with me. Last, just final thoughts. Anything this week? Anything you want this week to happen? What's your final sign off? Just what's your wish list? New coach. Got it. Okay. I'm just trying to get something. It's so hard. It's so hard to talk Kentucky right now, especially basketball. I guess we can just go talk football. You got that quarterback. You got that white 4-star quarterback who celebrated the Heisman Trophy. There you go.
Can't wait. The fake Heisman.
I want Pat Kelsey, guys. I want Pat Kelsey to get his starting lineup finalized by the end of the week for the portal. So we got 3 more opening spots. Get your starters. Let's see who the visits will be lined up, and see if we can close some more, and then get that starting 5 situated. And then now we'll start building out the roster with your depth pieces the days following. That's what I'm looking for this week.
Ethan, do you want any high school freshmen? Do you want anything? Is there anything that's even on your radar? I haven't even paid attention to the freshmen. That's a weird way to say it.
No, I mean, there was somebody that was like a high 4-star kid that decommitted from Wake Forest. He's since signed with somebody. I mean, ideally, yes, I would love for Kelsey to grab 2 or 3 high school, top 75 kids every year to, have on the roster. Hopefully, have them upgrade throughout the season, really coach them up, and to be mainstays on the roster, because I do think having that continuity is important. Yeah. But this year, I think it was, after they missed on some of their main targets earlier in the fall, I think now where Pat Kelsey has shown to really get things done is in the portal. So this year looks like it's going to have to be a total overhaul, absent Woolley and Johnson as we speak on this Sunday evening. And we'll see what happens. But ideally, yes, 2 or 3 high school kids per recruiting class per year. But it's not in the cards, pun intended, for this season.
Yep.
I think for me, I want Mark Pope to remember the importance of being the head coach at Kentucky. It's a different aspect and a different side when you're a player there. Yeah, you know what it takes to be a player, but like I don't know if he really understands give the importance of what it is being the head coach there. And I say that because of the performance of this year. I don't know. He lost me a lot. And then two, it'd be a solid pickup for either Louisville or Kentucky. Was a top 60, 65 in the nation kid out of high school last year. Ended up going to Auburn, got burned by Bruce Pearl, Caden Madwood, born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the transfer portal. He only averaged 3 points. Because he got screwed like everybody did over there. I think he'd be a solid pickup for Louisville or Kentucky. He's in the portal.
Nice. Anna?
Just going off Cory's comments there, I think Mark Pope does understand what it takes to be the coach. I just think he's not capable of it. I guess what I would really want this week is a phone call between Rick Pitino and Mark Pope, and him being like, Rick Pitino just threatening him with some more emotional abuse unless he gets it together. That would be my dream to happen. I don't know, make Mark Pope run some stairs unless he can toughen up a little bit. That's it. That's all I got. I don't know, guys. Not feeling good about any of it.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, if you haven't already, do me a solid favor. Smash freaking like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. You can follow Ethan Moore at _Ethan Moore. And, of course, follow Louisville Sports Live. That's Elville SPRTS Live. Is that right? I've listened to you all for so long that I should have that down by now. Cory, I don't have yours down yet. It's at Bosemer Radio 502 or Bosemer
at Bosemer Media 502.
Yes, and then at Tarullo Tweets, at Justin Soforo, ESPN Louisville, 93.9 The Ville, all that good stuff. Guys, we will see you all. Make sure I get this ready next time.